So like we've done in other presentations, let's break that down. Let's look at the words under the authority of the United States. Let's take that and put that at the top of our slide here. Under the authority of the United States. So let's define under. Under means like within the limits of, right? You can swim in the pool under adult supervision, which means within the limits of where the adults can see you and watch out and be responsible for you, right? Under means within the limits of. The next part is authority. Authority is a big one, a huge one. Authority is the power given to do certain things, okay? And lastly, in the condition, it says the United States. We just want to make sure that we're clear that the United States is the federal government. So when you take the verbiage of Article 6, Clause 2, all treaties made, or it shall be made, and let's change under to within, and let's change the authority to the powers given, let's change to the United States to be the federal government. You have this, all treaties made, or it shall be made, within the powers given to the federal government shall be the supreme law of the land. That makes sense, right? So that little clause that we've kind of rewritten to understand it, within the powers given to the federal government. Where do we find what is within the powers given to the federal government? Where do you find that? Where are the list of powers? They're in the Constitution. You got it. Exactly. They're in the Constitution. That's where we find them. Okay, quite simply then, if a treaty wants to become the supreme law of the land, it has to be made under the authority of the United States, or in other words, within the powers given to the federal government. And those powers that are given to the federal government are listed where? In the Constitution. So if a treaty wants to become the supreme law of the land, it has to follow the Constitution once again. Okay? It can't go around the Constitution. It can't just come up with its own powers. It has to follow the Constitution. Okay, so here's a quote from Thomas Jefferson. You know that I love this guy. I use him all the time. This quote's going to help give us a good introduction to the game. Here is the quote. In questions of power, then, bind men down from mischief by the chains of the Constitution. Okay? It says, look, don't let men get up to mischief. What we need to do is wrap them up or chain them down by the chains of the Constitution. Okay, for this game, it's called the mummy wrapper. We're going to use tissue paper, okay, for our chains of the Constitution. Pretty simple game. You just have one of your team members stand there in the middle like a post, and you just wrap them up as quick as you can, and the first person to wrap up every bit of that person, wrap them up in the chains of the Constitution, they're the ones who win. Break free from your chains of the Constitution here. Hopefully that's a fun game to teach you, right? The idea that the Constitution is what is in charge of wrapping up all the mischief that men can get up to, right? If there's treaties or laws or, oh, there's some more, has to be done within the confines, restrictions of the chains of the Constitution.